We in the WION newsroom are also in a state of shock. Back in May, Shinzo Abe had given an interview to us. He spoke with WION's managing editor, Palki Sharma. We did not know then that this would be his last interview to an international news network. Here is an excerpt from that interview.
Mr. Abe, welcome to WION.
Yeah, so I've been looking forward to this production. I'm very happy to be on the show.
Today's newspapers in Japan, and I'm sure elsewhere as well, talk about US President Joe Biden reaffirming his commitment to defending Taiwan, only for the White House to immediately clarify that their policy on Taiwan remains unchanged. Do you believe that the US will militarily intervene if China were to invade Taiwan?
Well, I think his comment was intentionally made, but you must forget the fact that he has in the past also made a similar comment that U.S. will be willing to fully defend Taiwan if China were to militarily invade Taiwan. That's on the very ground of staying strategically ambiguous in terms of policy. And on the very point that the White House came right out saying, oh, our policy of staying ambiguous strategically has not changed. The fact that they clarified that right after President Biden's comment actually gives us a signal that the U.S. is starting to look at the change of the policy there. And I have been an advocate of changing this ambiguous strategy.
So let me understand this correctly. You're saying that with yesterday's statement, no matter what the White House has said in clarification, you believe that there is a shift in American policy vis-a-vis Taiwan?
This is actually a comment given directly from President Biden, and he talked about U.S.'s full commitment to defend Taiwan, even though the White House came out and denied any overreaction to that, saying that it's the same policy. But I think essentially what President Biden had said shows the truth, and it was a message to China.
Very interesting. Do you believe that Xi Jinping is going to attack Taiwan and take it by force?
Of course, Xi Jinping's policy of one China is out and clear, as it had been stated. And they have clearly shown that forceful action by force is one of the options that they might actually exercise. But if U.S. were to clearly be in a position to interfere with such action of military invasion by China, I think China would consequently have to give up the idea, because China certainly doesn't want to go into war with U.S.
Let's talk about your relationship with India and Prime Minister Modi. How do you describe it?
Of course, we had to stop diplomatic visits during the COVID pandemic for 2 years, but you can see the historical visits that we've made back and forth. Of course, I was very energetic when it comes to strengthening the bilateral relationship during my second administration, but I would go back as far as my first administration, where I visited India and I gave a parliamentary speech, and I talked about the two seas being united. This became really the concept that led to the Quad and economic collaborations thus after that we have elaborated on. I have always been saying that this bilateral relationship between Japan and India is the type of bilateral relationship that has the biggest potential of all.
You've also had a long association with Mr. Modi in particular, and you've known him since the time that he was the Chief Minister of Gujarat. Can you tell us about your engagements and interactions with him? And I ask this because when two leaders meet, there's a lot of talk about personal chemistry. How much does personal chemistry, how big a role does it play in international diplomacy?
We've spent quite a bit of time, talking, doing other matters around our diplomatic activities. So relationship goes deep. Our understanding towards national security, the world issues that we need to all collaborate, solve together, are very much, united. And I respect Prime Minister Modi for the fact that he's a quick decision maker. He has that power to make things happen.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.